Hi Pisces, happy birthday and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your March 2022 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic crossword as always, and I also pulled a couple oracle cards and a Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Alright. We have Sagittarius. So for you guys, that's actually your 10th house of career, social status. We have 12, and for you guys, the 12th house is Aquarius. And 12th house in general just represents spirituality, potential blind spots, mental health. And we have Neptune, and Neptune's actually in your sign. It's been there for a while, but yeah, so going to be some focus on yourselves, probably a bit going on with the dream realm as well, and possibly some career stuff. All right, so we'll keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the King of Cups, which is Scorpio energy, and to see the Queen of Cups in the challenge position, this could be saying a couple different things potentially. For some of you, could just be saying that there might be a bit of a struggle between your masculine and feminine sides, like how to balance the two out. For others of you, this could just be saying that there might be more of a need for you to step into your more masculine side of your energy, but you just feel like you're more comfortable within the feminine side of your energy, so there could be a bit of a struggle there, where, could just be external forces are calling for a need for you to tap into the more masculine side of things, but you're just more comfortable in that feminine role. Especially if you look at the water, like she's very close to the water, but she's not actually submerging herself in it too. So for that to come up in a challenge position, that could be what it's pointing to there, where there's like a reluctance to actually take action and do what's needed to be done. And for some of you, it could just be one of those things where you could just be possibly overthinking a situation, where you might have this more instinctual notion to do something, but then you start to really overthink it, overanalyze it, and that might actually prevent you from taking action on something. So that's what I'm seeing with that. And in a way that would make some sense, because there's going to be a lot of energy going on in Aquarius for you guys in March, so that could lead to a lot of overthinking, but that's what I see with that. Speaking of overthinking, in the foundation position, we have the Eight of Swords. So this is Gemini energy here. And yeah, so that could be part of it, right? Where you've just given it so much thought that it becomes like there's a reluctance to move on the situation. I was saying that for another sign last month, that term like paralysis through analysis, right? So you just think through something so much to the point where you're like, I'm not quite sure where to begin. So you could just be feeling a bit overwhelmed at this time. In the past position, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this is Taurus energy here, which for you guys is your third house communication. So that could be pointing to the reasoning behind this for some of you, where it could just be saying possibly in the past you might have had a situation where you might have communicated something and it might have gone off the rails, right? Not necessarily where you're intending for it to go. There could have been some difficulty around that. So this could still be possibly that same situation that you're trying to fix now, but you're not quite sure how to approach it. Or for some of you, this could just be a totally unrelated situation, but the memory of that is what's causing you to be a bit blocked off right now in the current situation. All right. In the present position, we have the King of Wands. So this is Leo energy here, and for some of you, I feel like this is at least pointing to the possibility of you stepping up to that role, right? So as opposed to just trying to think and feel your way through a situation, for some of you could be at least preparing to take action around the situation. Now, King energies in general are fixed energies, so it might not be one of those things that you would rush in to take action on, but looks like you're at least preparing yourself for that. All right, in a near future position, we have the Moon. So this the Moon actually represents Pisces energy for some decks. For me, I don't necessarily view it immediately as like a Pisces energy, but yeah, seeing this here does make me think of the fact that we will have a new moon in your sign pretty early on in March, actually. So Could just be saying, especially since I'm recording this more or less in the middle of February, could just be saying that when we actually are in to March and you actually get that new moon in your sign, that might be what actually reignites your passion to actually move on the situation. But yeah, with this, it could just be saying that it could be nudging you to actually take action, but yes, feel your way through the situation, right? So kind of like what I was saying there, integrating the masculine and the feminine energies, where that could be a bit of a struggle for you guys. So it could just be saying, definitely take your intuition into the situation with you, but also don't be fearful of actually taking action as well. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is definitely a positive thing to see here because this is actually the core card that represents Pisces energy. So to me, this says if nothing else, even if there is like a bit of a bumpy start for you guys, this looks like you will actually be feeling comfortable in your own skin. And with the Knight energy, of course, moving forward and taking action as well. So whatever the situation is, I don't necessarily feel like it's going to be too long lived where you're just like stuck in that situation. Now, for some of you, it could have been that this is something you've been dealing with from previous months, but at least as far as March goes, it looks like you're going to move forward from that pretty quickly and actually be able to take action around the situation. So, yeah, looks like you will be moving forward this month for sure. All right. In the environment position, we have the Knight of Swords. So, what this could be saying here is there could be someone in your environment that might actually not be seeing the situation as clearly as you are. So that could bring the potential for some conflict. The reason I say that is just looking at the Knight of Swords energy, they're moving right toward that moon, right? So if this is a situation where you necessarily can't see things clearly, rushing into it probably isn't the best idea, right? So you could have someone who might be a bit more impulsive in your environment that you might have to watch out for this month. And this could even just be saying for you to try not to be impulsive in that same way either, right? Where, like we said, you want to combine the masculine and the feminine. So don't operate too heavily out of one or the other, which would be to say, all right, you could take action, but in a more measured manner, which looks like I said, it looks like you'll be in that energy anyway, the majority of you with the Knight of Cups. So it's a bit more likely this would be someone in your environment, but yeah, that's what I see with that. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the King of Pentacles. So this is actually Taurus energy here. So if this was around some financial problems that you guys have been having, obviously it would make perfect sense for this to be a hope for you, right? Which is to say, okay, you're actually hoping to get back on track financially, have things moving forward for you guys in that regard. If this was an earth sign you had a falling out with, maybe you could be hoping to reconcile things with them as well. But if nothing else, I feel like this is saying you just want to feel that security and that stability, right? Even if this is around communication, because Taurus energy for you guys is your third house communication. I just feel like there's that desire on your part to know that, okay, if I put in this amount of work, I could expect this reward, right? If I express something this way, it'll be taken the right way and be received, and I'll get back what I desire from that interaction. So, could just be the energy you guys are in right now. And in the outcome position, we have the Page of Wands and the World. So the World card definitely represents cycles of completion, and I usually view it as North Node energy as well. And that's another thing to keep in mind too when it comes to communication. We've seen the Taurus energy a couple of times, and I was mentioning how Taurus is your third house communication. The North Node moved into that sign recently, so this could be one of those things where you might have some situations come about that might actually nudge you forward a little bit to work on communication, right? To improve the way you communicate, to get exposure to better ways to communicate as well. So that could be what you guys are going through. And as far as if there was like I said, a reluctance to take action around the situation, seeing the Page of Wands here in the outcome with the World, to me that feels like it's saying that you will actually take the action that you need to, and it actually will result in your favor. Where it's one of those things where I feel like if you don't take action, it's just going to be one of those things that keeps nagging away at you. So for some of you, this could be something that you might have left unresolved from the distant past. But for others, you could just be saying that it's a timing thing where, you know, maybe you meet a person and you have a certain interaction with them, right? And maybe a part of you feels like you should confront them about it, but you don't, right? And then you move on from that situation like, you know what, I'm not going to address it. But then you keep running into that same situation over and over again, but with different people. It could just be one of those types of things. But with this coming up here, it looks like you would be taking action this month. For others, this could represent expanding your horizons as well. Because when I see this, I think about foreign travel, things along those lines. So for some of you, that could be what it's pointing to as well. Or maybe there's been some reluctance to travel on your part, right? Maybe you've been accustomed to staying in your home environment, not really venturing out too far. And now this month, you might just be feeling a bit of an urge to get out there and travel, see more of the world. If that's the case, it looks like things will fall in line for you guys to do that as well. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is Aries energy for you guys, which is the second house of finances. So yeah. And if we think about the fact too, when we were talking about combining the masculine and the feminine energies, this is a feminine energy, but it's also an Aries Mars ruled energy. So to me, that represents that combination as well in a positive way. So yeah, it looks like you guys will be integrating your energies very well this month and taking action moving forward and seeing some financial growth as well. All right, moving on to your 4 agreements card. We have be impeccable with your word. There we go. It says enjoy heaven on earth. And it says impeccability of the word can lead you to personal freedom, success, and abundance. You can attain the kingdom of heaven from this one agreement. Be impeccable with your word. So, pretty positive message there. Funny enough, we were just talking about the communication and having the North Node in your third house communication. And it looks like I said, it definitely looks like you guys are going to be moving forward in a positive way. Now, maybe the challenge with that could be, like I said, maybe there could be someone in your environment who might not be communicating in the best way. And that could be one of those things where you're caught up as to, okay, do I go back the same way toward them or do I stay in my higher energy or what? But hopefully you got something from that message. And then moving on to the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have Come to the Edge. There's the artwork, and the number is 36. So we'll see what this has to say. This kind of makes me think of the Fool card in traditional tarot, and seeing the action-oriented energy there. Looks like this will probably align with your reading, but we'll see what it says. Okay, it says courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. The Oracle's message, facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated, to feel the exhilaration as you ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You are called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles. So yeah, pretty positive message there. That definitely seemed to point to the energies we were talking about primarily in this part of the spread. But like I said, it looks like naturally you guys, as we move through the month, will actually feel more inclined to take action. So hopefully that resonated with you. The relationship message says it's scary to be truly intimate with someone, to allow him or her to see all of you, especially the parts that you've kept hidden and protected. Now is the time to take that risk and let yourself be seen, truly seen. It's important that you speak up, voice what you need, state who you are, say what you hope for. This is not the time to play it safe, but to take a leap of faith. You will be glad you did. If you're seeking a relationship, the same applies. Take one step toward the gods, and they will deliver what you truly desire. So it was interesting reading that message there, especially the last couple of sentences, because that made me think of it could just be saying by you taking that first step forward with the Knight of Cups. You might be surprised to see just how quickly something does come back your way. So that could be what the Knight of Swords is representing in that regard. And with that moon energy there, it could just be saying that could be one of those things that you didn't see coming, right? So maybe you're lacking a little bit of confidence, for example, to put yourself out there. But then once you finally do, surprisingly, like, oh, okay, actually this is going on better than I expected, one of those types of things. The prosperity message says, if ever there was a time for you to take a leap of faith into the unknown, it is now. This is the perfect moment to take a big risk. The unknown is the only choice now, And if you come to the edge, you will discover treasure beyond your wildest dreams. Allow your courage to lead you in spite of your fears. You don't need to know the exact form of what you're going for. The essence is much more powerful, and Spirit has a way of delivering an even better version of prosperity than you could imagine. Take that step. The results will be amazing. So, pretty positive message there as well. So, hopefully that resonated with you. And lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. This is your mudra here. It's the Gada Mudra, and the keyword for it is stability. All right. Looks like there's a lot of info on this card, so what I'll do is I'll hold it here for a second if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. And I'll move it up a little bit so we can get the rest in the frame. Get it to refocus. There we go. Under benefits, it says improves elimination and tones the organs of the pelvis, treats hemorrhoids and prolapsed organs, strengthens the Muladhara chakra, opens the flow of rising energy up the back of the body, evokes feelings of stability, groundedness, and safety. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, I'll put the name in the description of the video as always. Once again, happy birthday to you guys, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.